Hello, Randall J here to talk about some more coherent drivel. You know, all I'm doing is spitting out a bunch of common knowledge that everyone should know, but when I talk to people, I find they don't know a lot of this stuff. Like, I guess, people are busy, they don't have time to think about what's going on. It's okay and it all makes sense. Today I want to talk about taxes a little bit. You know, one of my biggest gripes is Social Security. Is every time you turn on the news and they talk about Social Security, oh, it's so much trouble, it's going to end, it's going to run out, we need to cut Social Security. That's what the Republicans love to do. And to be honest, Biden, I seen videos of him back in 70s, 80s, maybe 90s, I can't remember, but he was out to cut Social Security. He was out to reel it all in, And a lot of people, a lot of Democrats love Clinton, but Clinton really took a lot away from poor people. Him and Biden, they were not that good for the working man and the older folk. Although we all kind of liked Clinton, sort of. Anyway, so the way Social Security tax works is you pay it on your first $160,000. Okay? So it's like 6 cents on the dollar or maybe 8 cents on the dollar. I don't remember. But it's not that much, right? And, so if you make $1 million, you only pay on $160,000. If you make $1 billion a year, you only pay on the first $160,000. Oh, wow. You know how I bet we could fix Social Security pretty much forever and probably expand it? Just lift that cap. That's all there is to it. It's that easy. Government, they just go, oh, we don't know what to do. We don't know, we gotta make people work till they're 80 years old, like that's the solution. Or we could just lift that cap on rich people. Make rich people pay Social Security tax on every dollar. All right? And rich people say, oh, that's not fair because we don't need Social Security. Hey, you know what? The price of doing business in the United States is being a responsible citizen and contributing what you can contribute fairly, to help the citizens of our great society. We're supposed to have a great society, right? I mean, this is supposed to be the greatest society in the world. And I see homeless people every day. In fact, I drive past like a soup kitchen when I go to town. I drive by there quite a bit. One time I seen like 5 guys in wheelchairs, missing parts of their bodies, right? And now these people, they're collecting Social Security, but they're probably collecting the lowest amount, which is like a measly $800 a month, I see a wheelchair parked and a guy laying on the concrete, with a few blankets over him, and it's pretty cold out, right? Like that's how we let these poor people live with missing legs, And why? Because he only gets like $800 a month. He can't afford an apartment, The lowest end of Social Security should be like tripled, I mean, the lowest it should be is like $2,500, because apartments around here, you're lucky if you can find one for $1,400, right? And, and there should be more low-income housing for these people. And, housing first. They did this in Finland. Check out Finland, housing first. What they find is if you just give these street people an apartment, all of a sudden their behavior gets much better. And then you have opportunities for vocational training. You know, if they need psychological treatment, you give them psychological treatment. If they need drug addiction counseling, rehab, you send them there, right? And all of a sudden, guess what? You end up saving money because you don't have any more police and fire departments called out on them all the time. You don't have emergency hospitalization, you know, used all the time. So even though you're giving them a free apartment and these free services, the taxpayer's actually saving money in the long run. This is a proven fact. I believe there's also a town in Utah that does this. And it works. So what's the problem, man? You know? The problem is rich people, you know? And people like to, they see homeless people like, ooh, scumbags, scumbags. I've talked to a lot of homeless people, and some of them are quite intelligent and friendly, compassionate, helpful to others, good people. I've met a lot of good people. You know who the scumbags are? People that make, I'd say, over $300,000 and don't want to pay their taxes. And certainly over $400,000. If you're making $400,000 and you're complaining about paying your taxes, you are a scumbag. You know? And that means, like, Elon Musk is a scumbag. You know? It's just terrible. You know, and why is this happening? Because all of our government politicians, all the politicians, are being paid off with bribery. You know, and so you know, everybody, you guys should know all this stuff. It's really, you know, common knowledge, but I do find that a lot of people don't know it. So I'm going to ask you, you know, to like and subscribe. And you know what? Share. I mean, share these videos just because, you know, we have to, like, upgrade the common knowledge in the United States. That's the only way to make the change. And you know who can help us with this, I believe, is Kennedy, you know, and you know, the Democrats are trying to get rid of him. You know, they won't let him. You know, the media won't give him a voice hardly. You got to look him up on YouTube or TikTok, you know, to see who he really is. All they want to do is call him an anti-vaxxer, which is not actually the truth. If you listen to him explain, he just wants vaccines to be safe. You know, and pharmaceutical companies for vaccine injuries. Oh, so they could do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not sure I'm allowed to swear. I'd like to swear a lot more. But, yeah. So, there's a lot to talk about. I'll be, you know, some more, I'll be spilling drivel in the future. There's a lot to talk about. So, thanks a lot. Yeah, pass it on. Thanks. Bye.